Thursday morning. And again, no matter what I do, this thing is lagging, although it's not lagging quite as bad as it did last time. But, oh, there it is. I was trying to figure out where I put my coffee. It was on my little table here. Anyway, before we start getting into this, got to tell you a little story. Here's a story about a bad doggy. Yeah. Okay, you remember the other day on one of my podcasts where I was talking about copper chewing on one of my pens? Of all the pens that he could have chosen to chew on, it happened to be my special stylus that I use with my drawing pad, and is the only thing that works with my drawing pad. And I was excited because it's like when I get my new computer, I'll be able to use Adobe Illustrator, Adobe Animate, and all which I could use because I draw, and I've always been a fairly good artist. So I was going to draw characters and for animation and stuff like that. Well, guess what? Guess which pen it was? It was the stylus for my drawing pad, and he chewed it into little tiny chunks that were laying on his bed. I know he was chewing on a pen, but at first, I guess part of it was still laying there on, he'd like fallen between his bed and his kennel. And then, but he retrieved it. Well, he is part Labrador Retriever. And he had it, and I saw what it was, and I was just sick. It's like, I don't know how he got a hold of it. I have it sitting out here on my little table here. And it was even in a, what did I do with the, I don't know what I did with it. I might have thrown it away. It was in like a little pouch. It was like, and so he had to get the pouch, take it out of the pouch, and commence the chewing on it. And I don't know what about it, because he does not chew on things except what I give him to chew on. He's been really good. But I was just sick. I saw he chewed my stylus into little tiny chunks. Yeah, needless to say, I was not a happy camper. Not even a little bit. So, now, in order to use my drawing pad, I have to spend $35, which I can't afford, to order another one off of Amazon. Unbelievable. Yeah, why didn't you chew up one of the Dollar Tree pens? Where you get 4 in a pack, like a quarter a piece, You can't chew up a 25-cent pen. You've got to chew up a $35 pen. Oh, man. Because it's too much money to buy another drawing pad, so it's like, well, I thought that was a little... I mean, the pen itself costs more than some of the other drawing pads, which the other drawing pads that are cheaper like that, I don't know that they would... Although I didn't spend a whole lot for mine. I think I spent around $60, $70 maybe. And I bought it, a couple years ago, I think. I think it's been a year and a half, 2 years ago that I bought it. And I've used it a little bit, just dinking around, but I haven't, been able to use it with any program that can really utilize it, because I just haven't had the computer to do that. So I'm really happy that I'll be getting the computer to be able to do that. And I was really looking forward to using the drawing pad when my computer got here. So I've got to order another one. So not very happy. Not very happy about that. If I was rich, hell, no problem, just order another one. But when you're struggling to conserve every penny, yeah, it's not a good deal. It's not at all. I was just sick when I saw that. I don't understand why he found it all that tasty. So how's that pen? Oh man, yeah, I was not happy. Anyway, I'll shut up about that. I'm venting, sorry. All right, so let's get into it, what we're actually going to be talking about this morning. It is right now, I woke up at 1 a.m., couldn't go back to sleep, laid there till about 2:30. Finally realized it ain't going to happen. And so if I'm a little punchy, that's why. I probably slept about 4 hours, but that's it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen with you. And this is a link that one of my subscribers emailed to me about the body that they found, or some remains that they found in east of Truckee. All right, so let me go ahead, and I think this should work here. Yeah. Okay. So, see, it says, I'm not going to take it up too far because I don't want this video to start playing and distracting me and you. It says, human remains found near Truckee. The remains were found near Farad Road in Interstate 80 east of Truckee. And I may have mispronounced it. It's Farad. I would guess it's pronounced Farad. If you people that live over in that area, you can tell me. Truckee, California. The Nevada County Sheriff's Office is investigating after human remains were found near Truckee. According to the Sheriff's Office, the call for possible human remains came in around 6:30 p.m. Monday near Farad Road and Interstate 80. It's actually kind of like northeast because it's on the way to Reno, and you're actually traveling north. They call it eastbound. I think I mentioned that before. They call it eastbound, but you're actually traveling north. Deputies and detectives confirmed the remains were human and secured the scene overnight until the morning. Okay, so the person who emailed me said her gut feeling was that this was Kiely'. All right, I'm not saying it couldn't be, but my gut feeling is that it's not. A couple of reasons for that I don't think it's her. And again, I'm not saying it couldn't be, but the thing is, it's right on I-80 on the way to Reno, south of Reno. So I think that, we'll see here in a minute. I don't want to get ahead of myself. But the thing is, if someone was coming from the south or north, I don't know which side of the freeway it was found on. But if somebody was going either direction, either coming from Reno or coming up from, LA or San Diego or whatever, or even the local area, it's right by the freeway. Pull off, dump the body, and go. Because it doesn't say, I don't know if the body was laying somewhere and somebody saw it, So I don't know if they just dumped it along the freeway. Don't know if they tried to bury it. I haven't been able to find any other information. Excuse me. Any other information on this. So I don't know if it was buried. What I'm thinking is if it's right along the freeway, it wasn't buried, because people are not going to take a freeway exit and just go wandering around, right off the freeway there. I guess it could, but why? It just doesn't make sense that it'd be Kiely'. It's more like somebody drove along, pulled over, dumped the body, boom, took off. That's how it comes. And this was on this article. March 28th. I hate this when the thing pops up. I don't know why it started doing that. It must be some program I have installed, because it didn't used to do that. Sometimes it's handy. I can go like this, hit copy, boom, or web search. I have no idea which program it's connected with, but that's what it does. That's what it do. All right, so this Farad Road, I'm going to show you where that is. All right, you can see, well, actually, okay, I don't want to do this yet. There we go. All right. Now, here's the interesting thing. Farad Road, let me zoom in a little bit. This is Farad Road near I-80. All right, so it's not a great distance here. It starts here. So it looks like they would have had to have been coming from the south, taking this exit, gone down here, and then it dead ends here. So that's more like somebody was coming from Reno area, or somewhere, anywhere north of this, or east or whatever, of this area, pulled off, don't know where along here, but it's also along the river. It also maybe could have been in the river and washed up. I mean, there's a lot of different possibilities. Now I want you to notice something else. All right, this little table that I have here is not very big, so I'm having a hard time fitting my keyboard on here. All right, so we got Farad Road. And this is something that just bugs the crap out of me. I don't know why it always puts this as the destination. That's never what I want. I always want it as the origin. Well, not always, but most of the time. So let's first, excuse me. First thing, now for some reason, what it's doing from where I live. Okay, so I want to show you something. All right. No, what happened to that? Dang it. You stinking mother. Okay. There we go. Boca Reservoir. All right, get away. Oh, wait a minute. No, I do want that because I want to show you what the mileage is. So, no, not to Reno. Why is it going to Reno? I've got Farad Road to Boca, and they've got it going to Reno. Why? It didn't do this before. Oh, my word. Come on, Google. Get it together, man. All right, so, okay, fine, we'll do it this way, since it doesn't seem to work my way. I wish it would quit automatically putting my location. Seriously. Let me type in what I want, because then I've got to go in and frickin' and quit zooming in. Drive me nuts. Now, I don't know why it's doing this. What? My keyboard's in the way now. I gotta move it out of the way. I'm sorry, people. It was earlier when I did this. It did it just fine. All right, I'm gonna. Good night. Why is it trying to put Reno in there? I didn't have Reno. You witnessed it. I don't have Reno typed in there anywhere. Okay, so let's start out here. I'm just going to put in, Boca Reservoir. And quit zooming in. I hate that. I hate it automatically zoom. Sorry, it just irritates the crap out of me sometimes. Okay, where's Boca? Where's the... hang on a second. I'm going to put this on pause and start this. This thing's just doing weird crap. Okay, we'll try this again and see if we can get... I finally got it to go to Boca, although it doesn't show a marker, and I don't know why it doesn't show a marker. It should show a marker. Yeah, you know, when I did this earlier, I went through this scenario and was doing... because I was looking to see how far everything was from, each other and stuff. And again, it's... No, why? Quit putting my location by default. I hate that. I know it's going to keep doing it, but still, it just irritates the crap out of me. Let me type in what I want. Don't assume where I'm coming from or where I'm going. Again, quit zooming in. All right. Oh, no, actually, I was sorry. Excuse. I'm sorry. All right, so we see it's 11 miles. So if they went from Boca, dump, back on the freeway and go. So here's where I don't think it's Kiely'S body. I really don't. It doesn't make sense to me. But just in case, it's right on the way from Boca to Reno, right? Now, I think, and the evidence seems to indicate, well, now, Kiely was at Boca on Saturday, but after that, there's a lot of evidence that suggests that she may have been in Reno because there were several sightings in the Reno area of either her or her vehicle. Now, so it's 11 miles, and it's right on the way if you're going back up to Reno or whatever. Now, here's the easiest way to do this. For me, anyway. It's less. All right, so then what I do is I go up and get rid of that. All right. Come on, man. My internet sucks. All right, so here it's like 18 miles, 17.6. 18 miles from there. Oh, God, look at that traffic. And it's... What? How can there be like this? It's like 3:20 in the morning there, and they're showing It's clogged up at 3:20 in the morning? Are you serious? I mean, it's showing the red. It's showing the traffic's all clogged up, the current traffic. You get down there and it's like, everybody's going here to dump bodies. All right, so from Reno to there is, roughly 18 miles. Okay, now, so let's say we want to go to Truckee, California. And now get rid of this one. That's just easier for me to do it like that. It's just, it doesn't lag as bad. So from Reno, no, it's still showing from Reno. Why are you at Reno? No. It wants to go to Reno. What is with this piece of crap this morning? I swear. This is just really strange. It's just doing... I've never had it do this before. Of course, it has to be when I'm trying to record my screen and do all this crap that has to be messing up. And I can't blame this on my computer, I think. I could. But, okay, so... directions, and of course I want Truckee as the origin, not the destination. Quit. I wish you could do something in settings to get it to quit doing that. Sorry, I'm just it just aggravates me so bad, because 90% of the time I want the place I'm looking for as the origin. The origin. Okay, so from Truckee to there is, depending on which way you go, via Prosser Dam Road. Yeah. Which I guess if they were at Prosser, they'd have gone this way. But, so anyway, it's from Truckee proper, it's 14 and a half miles to there. All right, so my gut feeling on this is oops, I need to turn this up. My gut feeling is that it's not her, because to me it reeks of somebody coming from some other area. But, at the same time, here's another thought that just hit me. Did the person who dumped the person or persons who dumped the body know the area? I mean, that's another thing I meant to do too. Hang on, I'm going to show my screen again. I forgot, because I want to see. I'm going to go in here. Okay. Yeah, this is hard because I have absolutely no room for my keyboard and mouse both. So I'm going to get rid of this. I just want, and I don't want Truckee, I just want Farad Road. Farad Road. Okay. All right, so what I want to look at, and I didn't do this before, and I don't know why, is the satellite view. I want to see. I want to see what's there. Is there houses? Because it kind of is going to tell me a little bit. Oh, there ain't. There's nothing there. What the heck? There's one house. Or actually, that looks like a I don't know what that is. Yeah, there's one house there, another house. Oh, that's probably more like a shed or something. It could, yeah, this looks like it's all one property. So there's not a whole lot there. So, I mean, it could be somebody just randomly taking that exit, but was it somebody who was from the area that was familiar with this road and knew there was nothing here? Although, I'd be afraid of these people here seeing me. Because basically, it looks like, fraud. Oh, power plant, hydroelectric power plant. Oh, okay. So that's not a residence. Sorry, I didn't check all this out, but we're discovering this together. All right, so if they were down here, there's probably enough. I'm sure that they probably dumped the body probably up in here where you've got trees hiding you from the freeway. They could have been driving along and seen the trees and go, oh, we can hide behind these. Although it doesn't look like there's overabundance of them, but I don't know how tall these are here. These are huge here. But it's along the river. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments what you think, because, it's like a 50-50 as far as was the person from the area. Yeah, because you got the mountains here. You got not as many trees. Mountains on this side, but you're not going to get across the river to get to it. Train tracks. But I'm thinking they probably dumped the body along here somewhere where they have cover from the trees. And like I said, they could have thrown it in the river, and it washed, or they could have. And here's another thing too. They could have thrown it in the river up north of here. So all this stuff's coming to me. I'm thinking of it as I'm talking here. But, it could have floated down here and then, maybe there's a riffle or something like that where it got and then washed up on shore. But actually, no, I don't think so. I think that they just, where's the exit again? Yeah, right here, I think. Tahoe, what is that? Tahoe Pyramid Trail hiking area. Oh, okay, so they have a trail. Oh, you know what? That's another thing too then. See, I'm having all this stuff pop into my head. But if it's a hiking trail, if it's a popular hiking trail along that area, that even more makes me think that it was somebody who was familiar with the area. And not just a random take off, eh? And dump the body type of thing. So I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, to me, it just doesn't make sense that it's Kiely. It just doesn't. Because why go to all that trouble if you're going to dump her along the road like that? Why go to all the trouble of putting in another body, pushing her vehicle in the water, putting a body in there? To me that it doesn't add up. It doesn't add up to me. It just seems like this was another completely different deal. Man, I'm lagging by a good second and a half on this, so I apologize because I know the lips are not going to be in sync. Just go like, I'll just go like this. Yeah. Hey, that works though, you know. Where's my? Oh, here it is. Do you like the coaches? You know, you see the coaches on the sideline. They're talking into their mic, and they're like this. No, like this. I'm backwards. Yeah, they got like, and they're like, jet right 29 zam. You know. But, oh yeah, by the way. Oops. This is for sale on Amazon, by the way. Gosh dang it. There. Personal journal. That's just a journal for writing. And then on the inside, it didn't turn out very well on this one. I have a paperback edition too that I did. That's really pretty. The color came out well. That's how it came out on this one. So I'm not real happy about that. It's just a gray blob. It's supposed to be the picture. It's the picture that's on the front of the Earth as the watermark. It's supposed to be that as a watermark. And on the paperback version, it turned out really, really well. So there's a paperback version that the color came out great, and I'm not real happy about what they did with that. I don't understand why the paperback version came out really, really good and the hardback version came out looking like crap. But they wouldn't, you know. See, it doesn't cost me anything to put it on there, so it's not like, you know. But I did have to pay for a copy of it. Which, you know, to me, if you put something on there and they're going to make money on it, they should give you a copy for free. That's just the way I look at it. But, so, the other thing I wanted to talk about is, you know, I'm still trying to... Hang on, I need to get rid of this map thing here. Still trying to figure out a motive. And so far, the only thing that makes sense to me... Because nothing else makes sense. There's only two things that make any sense to me at all. And that she was either trafficked or she was sacrificed. There's absolutely nothing else that makes any sense. Why would they kill her? And like I've said before, in order to solve a murder... and this is not always true, but I would say 90% of the time is true. You have to develop a motive. Because the motive will lead you to the killer. So that's the first thing I know when we investigated crimes we looked at is who would have a motive. Who would have a motive and a reason to kill this person? And so you go through setting up a scenario and then weeding people out until you get to the person that you don't weed out. So who would have a motive to kill her? Now, there were several things that we've talked about, and not just you guys and me, but... you know, a lot of other content creators and stuff, we've all come up with different scenarios. And I have gone over this in my head so many times. Over and over and over and over. So many times. You know, at first I thought maybe that Nate H. was involved. Because Kiely might have been pregnant, blah, blah, blah. I've kind of come to weed that out. Although I do think that these powerful families are involved in this. However, a lot of people over there, including, and this is stuff that I've heard and picked up and heard through the grapevine, actually through people who have been investigators over in that area, is that these families, the Smiths, Hambricks, and there's some other people too that I've given their names in another video but don't come to mind right now. I'd have to go back and look it up. Basically control the area. They control the finances. They control the cops. They have sway over everything. They have influence. Basically, they call the shots. It's one of those areas where the rich people rule. Unfortunately. There's some other connections that they have, which I can't mention. Because I don't, if I did, it might expose my source, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to put them in danger. But there's some very powerful families, but a lot of those powerful families are involved in Satanism, paganism, and by the way, people try to argue that paganism and Satanism are two different things. No, they're not. Maybe in your technical terms, there is a difference. But it's all spawned by the same person. And that's the devil. Jesus said, "Who is not for me is against me. He is not for us is against us." Cut and dried, people. Cut and dried. If you're not for Christ, you're against him. Regardless of what you want to call it. Wicca, paganism, Satanism, however you want to label it. It all has the same author. So you've got these high up influential people. You have organizations over there right in Truckee, or in the general, or there's something in Truckee and in the areas surrounding that are grooming kids for Satanism and paganism. Look up the Panda movement. Google Panda School in Truckee. It's scary, people. A lot of you don't realize what influence Satanism has over that area. You really don't. A lot of influence. In fact, I would say more influence than anything else. And you've got these rich people who are into this. You've got these rich people who traffic people. I've been told that a certain lady who we've talked about before, whose name starts with an X. Well, actually, her actual name starts with an A, but you know who I'm talking about. Is into trafficking. Bringing girls over from the Ukraine and selling them. People, there's a lot of crap going on over there. It's probably what I've been told by people who know what's going on there. Okay, so this isn't just my opinion. This is what I have been told by people who are very knowledgeable of the goings-on over there. That the Truckee area and the surrounding areas is the biggest trafficking area in the state. Reno is known as a major trafficking area. And trafficking can take many forms. There's sex trafficking, slave trafficking. Of course, we're all aware of the drug trafficking that's being done by law enforcement over in that area. Nevada County Sheriff's Office. I don't know about the others. I don't have evidence about it, but I would assume they're probably all involved. Shannon Moon, Mr. Brown, Weenie Wagger Woo. I don't know about him for sure, but any area that would allow a person to stay sheriff who took advantage of an underage girl on a ride-along and had sex with her, anybody who would allow somebody like that to remain sheriff, that's just crazy. He not only should not be sheriff, he should be in prison. So, people, there's a lot of corruption over there. It's totally corrupt. That whole area over there, I've been told by people, federal investigators. Hang on. I feel a sneeze coming on. Come on! Oh, I hate that. Is my nose burning? Okay, so it doesn't want to sneeze. It just wants to burn the crap out of my nose. What was I talking about? See, you interrupted me for nothing. You didn't even sneeze. But I don't remember what I was starting to say now. Dang it. Anyway, there's a lot of corruption. But no, I was starting to say something about the agents that told me that. Okay, now my voice sounds. You're probably trying to cough yourself after. Hang on, let me get my voice back in order. All right. Okay, my body's really ticking me off this morning because I keep forgetting what I was going to say. But I think it was that the people who have worked the area, who are familiar with the area, say it's the most corrupt area in the state. In fact, one of the most corrupt areas in the entire United States. You've got all these people, all these rich people who flock to that area. And you know how the old saying, birds of a feather flock together? Well, you got a lot of birds there who into Satanism, into sacrifice. Man, no matter what I do, I can't. I just this morning, yesterday, and today, it's like in the mornings, it's just like my allergies, they're just whooping me. But there's a lot of trafficking that goes. Oh, I know what I was starting to say. I'm sorry, people. I'm just having a heck of a time, and it's not even 5 o'clock in the morning yet. I've been up since 1, so my brain's not fully functional. Not like it is anyway, but and then I keep interrupting myself like that and forgetting what I was going to say. I apologize. I know this is all discombobulated. But I didn't make any notes. I just decided to wing it, which probably shouldn't have. But anyway, the trafficking, corruption, Oh, I know what I was starting to say. I'm going to say it really quick. Check out Google and also on YouTube, too. You can look it up. There's a lot of videos about this on YouTube. How many people have disappeared from the woods in Northern California? And in particular, the Truckee area. Been a lot disappear from Southern California, too. But those woods around Truckee, there's all kinds of stories about people just, and a lot of the stories go like this. They're standing there. I turn around to grab something. I turn back around, and they're gone. Just that quick. I remember one story that I don't remember if I watched it on YouTube or I read, where the guy said they were in their campground. And his little boy, which I don't remember how old he was, I think he was like 3 or 4. I don't think he was quite kindergarten age yet, if I remember right. But anyway, he was, around between 3 and 5, whatever. And was standing there in the campground, at the edge of the campground by the tent. He was by the fire cooking dinner. They had a barbecue pit type of thing there. And he was cooking dinner. The boy was standing there watching him. He's probably 20 feet away, I think he said. Something like that. And the guy turned around to grab some seasoning to put on whatever it was he was cooking. Turned back around. His boy was gone. He said he never heard anything. He was just gone. Vanished. I think they later found his remains. If I remember right. Or they found his clothing, I think it was. That's what it was. Yeah. They found his clothing. They found his shoes, his shirt. I don't remember if they found his shorts, but I do remember he was wearing a t-shirt and shorts, I think, gym shorts type thing, or little boy shorts, whatever they were. And they found his shirt and his shoes. Or no, they found one shoe. They found one shoe and they found his shirt lying alongside a path. But they never found his body. So what does that tell you? He was sacrificed. There's stories like that. If you look up on YouTube or look up on Google or Reddit, all kinds of stories, same scenario. I turned around and they were gone. They were standing there 1 second. I turned around to grab something, turned back around, they were gone. All kinds of stories like that. All kinds of stories. And most of the time it's young kids. Just disappeared. Didn't wander off. Just vanished. So there's all kinds of stuff like that, people down there. All kinds of stuff. And I'll guarantee you that a lot of it is connected to Satanism, to child sacrifice. And I know it's really, really hard for us to imagine people being so evil. especially if you live in an area where you don't have a lot of crime. I mean, not like a big city. I mean, every place has crime, but you know what I'm saying? You know, you don't live in a place that has a lot of murders, you know, or stuff, or, you know, or weird, you know, phenomena happening like this. It's really hard for us to believe that people could be so evil and do things like this to children. But most of the time that people advantage their children, teenagers. Not all. There's a lot of adults that disappear too. Some of them disappear after going for a hike, and a lot of that could maybe be attributed to them getting lost. Because if you don't have the right equipment, it is not hard to get lost in the woods. The only thing is, most of them, like if they've gone for a hike and they disappear, so many times they don't recover them. They don't find them. Now, considering that most of the time when they sacrifice somebody, the body is burned. So that could be a good indicator why they don't find these bodies. Like I say, it's hard for us to fathom. It really is. I just can't. We can't understand that kind of mentality. We can't understand that kind of evil. But it exists. Some of the stuff that I encountered as a cop, it wasn't as that bad, but I have encountered groups, Satanist groups in the woods. I have encountered someone being sacrificed, not in the act, but afterward. So I know what goes on. And then you've got an area like Northern California, which is like the hotbed of that kind of stuff. It's really not that hard to think that Kiely was sacrificed. So, to me, that the two scenarios that make sense to me, that she was trafficked and that she was either sold as a sex slave. I mean, look at her song that, and I went over this. I think I went over this in my last Kiely video, but I don't remember if it was that one or the one before, where I talked about her song, and she was talking about twice a year something happened that made her want to slit her wrists. I believe she was being sold. Now, it's hard for us to believe that a mother could be so evil that she would traffic her own daughter for guests at the lodge. But if you read between the lines in Kiely's song, now you can either look it up, or if you email me, I've got it saved on my computer, and I can email you a copy of the song. I've also got the link to the song too, where you can listen. And she was a very good singer, extremely good singer. I wish I could sing like her, just in a lower voice. But something was happening twice a year, and of course, if you understand the Satra rituals, summer solstice and winter solstice. My belief is that's when these events that made Kiely want to slit her wrists took place. Now, if a mother would do that, I don't think a mother would hesitate to just have her sacrificed completely, especially when she was going to be emancipated and leaving. And who knows who she'd tell about the activities that were going on. And if she was going somewhere else where the people there in the Truckee area weren't being protected by law enforcement and by the powers that be, she'd end up in prison. Lindsay would. So anyway, just some things to think about. Thing is, we have to understand, people, that the people that are into this kind of stuff are capable of anything. Especially if they believe there's religious value in it. Because in the Asatru religion that Lindsay's into, basically the gods in their religion are their ancestors. And the things that they do, they're pleasing their ancestors that passed on before them. If you just look up Asatru and look at all the things that are connected with it and the stories. Just Google it and you can find all kinds of stuff. There's some scary stuff, people. And I think about how emotionless Lindsay was. Somebody sent me some pictures that were taken at Prosser. And if I'd have thought about it before now, I'd have gotten those pictures, but I don't know if they're on the computer or not. I know that they're on my phone. But there are some pictures, there's like 3 or 4 pictures that were taken at Prosser the day of Kiely's celebration of life. And it's Lindsay and a couple of other women. And they're all just laughing and joking. You know, a mother who was really sad that her daughter passed on wouldn't be acting like that. She's a very cold person. You look at her eyes. Her eyes are evil. I don't care what anybody says. Her eyes are evil. She was emotionless. She could never, ever even cry over Kiely's passing. Never once did we ever see her cry. We saw her put on an act in front of the TV cameras. Celebration of life, she's acting like, yeah, we're moving on. No big deal. We're celebrating it. Yeah, I bet you are. It meant a lot of money for you. Mm-hmm. That's why she told us there's honor in silence and mind our own business. Yeah, because you didn't want your ass to get caught. We see through your crap. We see through your charade, your facade. And I'm not stopping until somebody ends up in jail. I may not ever succeed, but you know what? That doesn't mean I'm going to stop trying. People need to pay. People need to pay dearly for killing an innocent 16-year-old girl. They need to pay. And they shall pay. If they don't pay in this life, they'll pay in the next one. Either way, they're going to pay. All right, so that's all I got for you this morning. I'm sorry everything was so jumbled, but I kind of had an idea what I was going to say, and sometimes when I've tried like going by notes and going by an outline and stuff like that, it just doesn't flow. Now, even though this one was like all over the place, hopefully I got my point across and got some information for you that be helpful and interesting. But anyway, let me know what you think about that body that was found along the road there. Well, I assume along the road. I don't know where it was found. It just said off of 4 Road near I-80. Of course, the whole thing is near I-80, so, and dead ends at that power plant. So, let me know what you think. I just think it could be 50-50, whether it was somebody who knew the area or somebody who didn't. I probably think 60-40, that I think it was somebody who knew the area and knew where to dump a body, or where they could dump a body. Because if you're just driving along, you're seeing an exit, you don't know what's there. Unless you're from the area. And you know there's no houses down there. And you can hide behind the trees. Anyway, I do a lot of thinking as I talk. And so sometimes things pop into my head as I'm talking. And, so I think more 70-30. 80-20, 90-10, hut. Okay. All right. You guys have a good morning. I'm going to put this together and for y'all. All right. Talk to you later.